Stop scrolling for just 1 second, because I need to tell you something nobody in the fashion industry wants you to know. If you are under 5'4" and proudly over 60, there is a 2-inch detail hiding in almost every blouse you own that is quietly making you look shorter, heavier, and years older than you actually are. And by the end of this video, you are going to know exactly what it is and exactly how to fix it for free tonight with clothes you already own. Have you ever bought a beautiful blouse off the rack, rushed home excited to wear it, put it on, and looked in the mirror only to feel like the fabric was wearing you instead of the other way around? The sleeves bunch up at your wrists. The shoulders sag halfway down your arms. And suddenly you are not looking chic. You are looking like you borrowed something from someone else's closet. It is deflating. It is frustrating. And if this has happened to you more than once, I want you to hear me clearly on this next part because it changes everything. Your body's not the problem. It never was. The proportions of the clothes are the problem. Style after 60 is not about disappearing into oversized layers, and it is definitely not about obeying some outdated rule book that tells women our age to fade quietly into the background. It is about understanding a kind of math. A math of lines, fabric, and cut that lets your personality walk into the room before anyone even notices what you're wearing, instead of the outfit doing all the talking for you. Here's the part that might surprise you. Being petite and over 60 is not a limitation to work around. It is a style superpower once you understand how to use it. And today, I'm breaking down 7 tips that will instantly elongate your silhouette, bring a youthful energy back into your wardrobe, and have you feeling effortlessly put together every single day, starting with the very next thing you put on. No tailor, no trip to the store, no new budget, just small, deliberate shifts you can make before you leave the house tomorrow morning. Stick with me because tip number 4 is the one almost nobody talks about, and it might be the single biggest change you make this year. But we have to build up to it properly, so let's start at the very top. Tip number 1 is all about the neckline, and it might be the fastest transformation on this entire list. When you're petite, high crew necks, heavy turtlenecks, and stiff, fully buttoned collars can quietly box you in. They cover the neck, which shortens your entire upper body and makes your torso look compressed, almost stacked. If you've ever put on a top and thought, why does this make me look shorter, or why does this make me look heavier than I am, a high neckline is very often the hidden culprit. Nobody tells you this. You just feel it, and then you blame yourself. The fix is almost embarrassingly simple. It's called the V-neck effect. By opening the space just below your chin, a V-neck draws the eye vertically, both upward and downward at the same time. It creates one long, uninterrupted line of sight that gives the illusion of a longer neck and a taller frame instantly. And I promise you, this does not mean plunging necklines or anything dramatic. A modest V, a soft wrap blouse, or simply leaving the top 2 buttons of a crisp white shirt undone works beautifully. It opens up your face, lets light reach your collarbone, and looks effortlessly timeless. Try it tonight in the mirror and watch what happens to your whole silhouette in about 3 seconds. Now that your neckline is doing the heavy lifting, let's talk about something almost every petite woman over 60 has struggled with at least once, and that's tip number 2, the sleeves. You already know this feeling. You buy a standard size blouse and the sleeves are somehow always about 2 inches too long. They swallow your hands, bunch at your wrists, and drag your whole upper body downward with unnecessary bulk exactly where you don't want it. It makes your arms look shorter, and honestly, it makes the whole outfit feel heavier than it needs to be. The fix here is what I call the 3/4 sleeve trick, and once you see it, you cannot unsee it. By exposing your wrists and forearms, which are naturally the narrowest, most elegant parts of your arm, you instantly lighten the entire look. It breaks up a heavy block of fabric, tricks the eye into reading longer lines, and adds a kind of dynamic energy that a long sleeve simply cannot give you. Look for blouses with built-in 3/4 sleeves, or just give your existing long sleeves a casual, artful roll to the elbow. And here's a little bonus nobody mentions. This move puts your favorite watch, your bangles, your stacked bracelets right on display, exactly where people's eyes naturally land when they're talking to you. If you're finding this useful so far, do me a quick favor and tap that like button right now, because it tells me you want more of these no-cost styling fixes. And if you haven't subscribed to Stylish 60 Plus yet, this is exactly the kind of video we post every single week. So hit that subscribe button before you keep watching. Okay, necklines sorted, sleeves sorted. Now for tip number 3, and this one trips up more women than any other single thing: patterns and why scale is everything. We walk into a boutique, we see a bold, dramatic print, and we think, that's gorgeous. But on a smaller frame, massive patterns with sharp color contrast act like a visual speed bump. They chop your silhouette into pieces, and honestly, the pattern ends up walking into the room a full 3 seconds before you do. Nobody wants to be introduced by their blouse. The secret weapon instead is monochromatic pairing, or at minimum low contrast prints. When your blouse matches the undertone or color family of your pants or skirt, you create one continuous, seamless column of color. There is no harsh line cutting you in half, so the eye glides effortlessly from head to toe, and you read as taller and far more polished. If you love pattern and don't want to give it up, look for microprints, delicate vertical stripes, or soft watercolor designs where the colors blend rather than compete. It keeps things elevated instead of chaotic. And speaking of long unbroken lines, this brings us to the tip I promised you earlier, tip number 4, the one almost nobody in this space is talking about. This is where so many petite women get stuck, and it comes down to one question: what do you actually do with the bottom of the blouse? Leave it long and fully untucked, and it visually cuts your legs off, making your whole lower half look shorter than it is. Do a full tight tuck all the way around, and it can feel rigid, uncomfortable, and it sometimes draws exactly the kind of attention to your midsection that you were trying to avoid. So, what's the middle ground that stylists actually use? It's called the French tuck, sometimes called the half tuck, and it takes 3 seconds. Here's exactly how. Take a small section of your blouse right at the very front center and tuck just that piece gently into your pants or skirt. Let the sides and the back fall loose over your hips. By exposing just the front of your waistband, you establish exactly where your waist is, which visually elongates your leg line. But because the sides and back stay untucked, you get a soft, forgiving drape that skims over the hips while still looking modern and completely effortless. It works on a casual t-shirt. It works on a silk blouse for a night out. And it instantly makes an outfit look intentionally styled instead of just thrown on in a hurry. If you've never tried it, this is the one I want you to test in front of a mirror today, because the before and after is honestly a little shocking the first time you see it on yourself. But maybe you already know you hate tucking anything in, and that's completely fair, so stay with me, because tip number 5 was made exactly for you. If you're someone who wants to leave your blouse out untucked, no compromise, that is absolutely allowed, but there's one detail you cannot skip: the hemline. Stiff, boxy blouses that cut straight across your hips create a harsh horizontal line, and on a petite frame, that line functions almost like a visual stop sign. It cuts off your legs and makes you look both wider and shorter at the same time, which is the exact opposite of what we're going for. The secret is choosing curved hemlines over boxy, straight-cut ones. Look for a gentle scoop hem or a shirt tail hem, one that dips slightly lower at the front and back but curves upward at the sides. Because the fabric rises at your hips instead of cutting straight across, it breaks that harsh horizontal line and reveals a little more leg from the side profile. It softens everything, drapes beautifully over your curves, and lets you wear a longer top without ever feeling swallowed by it. This one detail matters enormously with casual tunics and lightweight summer linens especially, so next time you're shopping, run your hand along the hem before you even try it on. A little curve goes a long, long way. Now, a great hemline is only half the equation. To keep a petite frame perfectly balanced, we need to zoom into the smaller details, and that is tip number 6. Have you ever tried on a blouse that fit beautifully through the shoulders, but something in the mirror just felt slightly off and you couldn't quite name what it was? 9 times out of 10, it's the details. In fashion, everything is a question of scale. On a smaller frame, oversized elements, massive ruffles, giant breast pockets, huge wide collars can completely overwhelm you. Instead of looking elegant, the blouse starts to look like it's wearing you rather than the other way around, and that is the exact trap we talked about at the very beginning of this video. The golden rule here is simple. Scale everything down. Look for narrow collars, slim plackets, the fabric strip where the buttons sit, and smaller, more subtle buttons. If you love romantic touches like ruffles or pleating, seek out micropleats or soft vertical gathers instead of heavy, stiff volume. When every detail stays proportional to your frame, attention naturally returns to your face, which is exactly where it belongs. Instead of getting stuck on an oversized collar, it's a tiny tweak, but it's the difference between an off-the-rack blouse and one that looks custom-made for you. We've now covered necklines, sleeves, patterns, tucking, hemlines, and details. But the 7th and final tip might be the single most important one on this entire list, because it changes how every other tip actually performs on your body. This is fabric weight, and I promise you, once you understand this, you will never shop the same way again. You can nail the perfect neckline and the perfect sleeve length, but if the fabric itself is too stiff, none of it will work the way it's supposed to. Heavy, stiff fabrics, thick starched cottons, heavy denim stand away from the body rather than moving with it. On a petite frame, that creates what stylists call a tent effect, and it makes you look boxier and wider than you actually are, even in a perfectly cut blouse. What you want instead are fabrics that flow with your movement. Silk, rayon, high-quality viscose, a beautifully soft, washed linen blend. These materials don't add bulk. They skim the body, cascading downward into one smooth, continuous vertical line that elongates your entire silhouette without you doing anything extra at all. Here's a trick I use every single time I shop, and I want you to try it this week. Hold the blouse over the back of your hand. If the fabric stands stiffly in place, put it back. But if it falls smoothly over your knuckles like water, that's the one. That's your winner every time. So let's bring all 7 of these together, because here is the truth underneath everything we just covered. Style after 60 was never about trying to look taller for the sake of it, and it was certainly never about hiding behind mountains of fabric out of fear. It's about celebrating exactly who you are right now, feeling completely comfortable in your own skin, and letting your clothes finally reflect the confident, vibrant woman you've spent an entire lifetime becoming. When your clothes fit your actual proportions instead of some generic size chart, something shifts. You stand differently. You feel unstoppable. Now, I want to hear directly from you. Which of these 7 tips are you trying first? Are you already a devoted fan of the French tuck, or is the curved hemline the one you're testing on your next shopping trip? Tell me in the comments below, because I read every single one, and honestly, some of the best tips I share on this channel started as a comment someone left on a video just like this one. If this video helped you look at your closet a little differently today, do 3 quick things for me before you go. Give it a thumbs up, because it genuinely helps this channel reach more women just like you who are searching for exactly this kind of advice. Share it with a friend who needs to hear that her body was never the problem. And if you haven't already, hit subscribe to Stylish 60 Plus, because every single week I'm breaking down another research-backed styling secret made specifically for women over 60 who refuse to fade into the background. And here's something worth knowing before you click away. Next week's video covers the one color mistake that makes even a perfectly tailored outfit look 10 years older, and it has nothing to do with what you'd expect. If you're not subscribed, you will miss it completely when it drops, so don't let this be the last time we do this together. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. If you want more styling secrets like this one, Stylish 60 Plus is where I share them first every single week, so make sure you're subscribed and notifications are turned on, because you do not want to miss what's coming next. Stay stylish, stay confident, and I will see you in the very next video.